Hi, I'm Annie Fitzsimmons. I'm your Washington Realtors legal hotline lawyer. And I love working with realtors because one characteristic that describes almost every single one of you is that you want to do everything you can to help your client and support your client, which is great. The only problem is that your license limits you to some degree in what you can do for your client. And so today I want to talk to you about a trend that I'm seeing, and to use the word trend makes it sound like it's something new. It's really not something new. But as the market heats up and we have more and more sales activity, then we have more and more closings that happen, and therefore we have more post-closing time frames. And in that post-closing time frame, there is this enormous opportunity for dispute between buyers and sellers. Seller took the washer and dryer that buyer thought that they were leaving. There was supposed to be a generator in the garage and it's no longer there. When the rug was lifted off of the hardwood floors in the living room, there's this huge discolored spot on the hardwood floor. When the mirror was taken off the bathroom wall, there's a hole in the bathroom wall, etc., etc. You guys have heard a lot more of these than I have. But there is plenty of opportunity for disagreement between buyers and sellers after closing. And every realtor I know wants to do whatever they can to solve that dispute. Some disputes may be solved by the brokers trying to come up with solutions after closing, form a bridge of communication between the parties. But you've got to understand one basic premise. You're not licensed to do that. And to the extent you inject yourself into the post-closing dispute resolution, you're engaged in the unauthorized practice of law. I know real estate brokers do this every day, and many, many times over it yields great results. And if the parties aren't happy with each other, at least they can walk away without a lawsuit being filed. And I say, hats off to the brokers who made that happen. But I'm also very aware of brokers who have injected themselves into post-closing disputes and ended up then being the subject of the post-closing litigation that gets filed. Broker tried to negotiate the settlement. Broker communicated the terms from one party to the other party agrees, and then the first party changes those terms or changes their mind, or their lawyer gets involved at that point and the lawyer changes the terms, and now all of a sudden the buyer on this side thought we had an agreement, but the seller on this side changes the terms, and the one person who was in the middle communicating that there had been an agreement or an offer made in the first place is the real estate broker who really wasn't licensed to be there at all. So the purpose of this video is to say, be careful. I know you want to be helpful, but at some point, your willingness to be helpful puts yourself in jeopardy. At some point, you have got to back out of a post-closing dispute and advise your client, or at that point, actually your former client, in writing to seek the advice of legal counsel. And I actually suggest that you give that written recommendation before you ever get involved in an effort. I want you to understand one more thing. I'm not suggesting that any real estate broker ever involved themselves in resolution of a post-closing dispute. If I could wave my magic wand and have all of you walk away from a post-closing dispute, give your former client a referral to seek legal counsel, and never consider that issue again, that's what I would have happen. But I've represented realtors for a long time, and I know that's not what you're going to do. You want to resolve the dispute. And time has shown that in many cases you can be successful. So while I would love to say, just don't do that, I know that's not a realistic answer. So to the extent you're going to do that, please be careful. Please keep your managing broker involved. Please keep your designated broker involved, and know when you have to cut the strings altogether, give the advice to seek legal counsel for that final time, and walk away, because that time will come in some disputes. I hope you don't have any disputes to resolve in the next week, but if you do, please feel free in the next week or any week thereafter to send me a question to the Legal Hotline. My email address is legalhotline@WA.Realtor. I appreciate you being a member. Because you're a member, you have access to the Legal Hotline service. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you have a great week.